This past year has been one of the hardest in MyPillow's history. It's because of you that we're making it through. My employees and I want to thank you for your continued support by extending our wholesale prices on classic MyPillows. Get standard classic MyPillows only $14.98. I can't believe I'm even saying that. Only $14.98. But it gets even better. Upgrade to a queen size MyPillow for just $18.98. King size only $1 more. Get my body pillows $29.98 and multi-use MyPillows for only $9.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of these wholesale prices, including my standard size MyPillow, originally $49.98, now only $14.98. Queens $18.98, Kings only $1 more. Not only that, order $75 or more, ship absolutely free.
From all of us here at MyPillow,
thanks, America!
Hi, everybody. I'm Bianca Della Garza, and you have to check out Gene Valentino's Grassroots Truthscast podcast. I was a guest. He has the best guests always. Check him out.
So joining me now with more on some of these nominations, host of Grassroots Truthcast podcast, GOP political strategist, Gene Valentino, and former county commissioner in Escambia County, Florida, which is up there, Pensacola Panhandle region. Beautiful region, beautiful part of Florida, a little bit north of us, down here in Boca. GOP strategist Malik Abdul. Good to see you both. Malik, let's start with you. I mean, you heard Alana's reporting. Let's talk about Pete Hegseth, because obviously we've been all following the contention and the divisiveness and the controversy around, President-elect Trump's pick of Hegseth, his background, but it seems to be shifting a little bit. And I, last week I was asking some of our guests if that was the strategy for Hegseth and also President-elect Trump, to let things kind of cool down, die down in the media in the hopes that passes through and the nomination process can continue. What do you think, Malik?
If you listen to what Fetterman said and what many of the senators are saying, they are doing their constitutional duty. Now, I've been very uncomfortable with this notion that a number of senators, for instance, like Senator Joni Ernst, someone who served in the military herself and has been victimized by sexual violence, that she shouldn't be able to have conversations with Pete Hegseth. And it seems as if that she eventually came around, because that is the role, advise, and consent. So you're seeing now a much more better feel for among Republicans because they've had conversations with Pete. We've heard over and over again that he's a very great guy. And I think being able to meet with the senators face to face to talk about the real difficulties that the Department of Defense, the Pentagon, our soldiers face, those are the important conversations. And it seems as if Pete seems to be able to win them over. And we're not, unfortunately, I think a missing piece of this is that we're operating under the assumption that he may not get any Democrat votes. I mean, we do have about, 100 senators in the Senate, but he may not get any Democrat votes. But I'm glad to see now that he now seems to be in a much better position this week than he was last week.
Yeah, I mean, Gene, if anybody knows about weathering the media backlash and storm, it's President-elect Trump. Do you agree with Malik, though? I mean, what about Fetterman? Is it possible Fetterman, and Fetterman surprised so many people, including myself, in recent months. What do you think?
Well, thanks, John. First of all, he's right in what he just said. I think Pete Hegseth has weathered the storm. Frankly, I think the entire lineup of Donald Trump's team coming in has weathered a storm. I think Fetterman, I've got to say, has surprised me. He is not the same person of 2 years ago. Putting his dress code aside, he's making sense. I like what he's saying, and he's deliberative. He's showing more balanced in his thinking. I think there's a lot of midstream Democrats that are going to offset any threats of rhinoism that's still out there. I think the Republicans are going to continue, as I strongly believe, to be able to support Donald Trump's agenda, the MAGA agenda, which is what, by the way, the majority, John, of America voted in.
Yeah. What do you think, and this question is for both Eugene and Malik, about Carrie Lake being tapped to run Voice of America? I was a little, I don't know if you agree, I was a little surprised by that. I thought she would get possibly a more senior role. I mean, Jane, first you, is it a good position for her? Malik, were you surprised at all?
Well, I really think Carrie Lake's got a lot more to offer. I think she weathered her own storms, didn't she, in the Maricopa County races. Too big to rig was Donald Trump's theme. Maybe not so in Carrie Lake's case. I think throughout this last election and prior, there were signs of election ballot harvesting and still some pop-up issues around the nation of wrongdoing. But as Donald Trump said, it remained too big to rig. Carrie Lake, she'll do well at that role as a spokesman. She'll be the voice for America. But I think she has a lot more to offer. Her skill sets run very deep.
Malik, what about you? Were you surprised by that? Do you think it's a good role for her? And then I got a follow-up question for you on another topic.
Yeah, to be honest, I actually was not surprised, and I think that this is a good fit for her because when you think of the administration itself, a lot of those senior roles have already been filled. The press secretary role, the White House communication team, the cabinet appointment. So there really wasn't a lot of left there. But I think her in this role, I think people forget, yes, she's a recently turned politician, but Carrie Lake is a veteran journalist. So this is, if you think of the people who served in these positions in the past, where they've been bureau chiefs and things like that, Carrie Lake, this actually ends up being the perfect fit for her.
Well, that's a good point. That's a fair point. Malik, I have another question for you on another topic, and this has to do with the Daniel Penny case. You posted something that caught my eye on X that right there, you thought that Daniel Penny deserved to go to jail, but then you, as it goes on, and folks can read this, you said, as I found out more about the case and listened to Daniel Penny's interview, I realized Penny's act was reasonable. Explain to the viewers what really changed your opinion about the case.
And notice that I said I was very careful with my words. The jury had to respond to what was reasonable, not what you and I would do, but what was reasonable. And initially, what many of us thought, we assumed that Daniel Penny died right there on the spot. But then as the case went on, we began to find out that he was alive by the time the paramedics got there. So I kind of started shifting at that point. But when you heard from the jury, when you heard from the witnesses, you didn't see any witnesses there protesting what he did. So it's very difficult. I understand it's a political thing to do, and for many people, it's a very racial thing to do to say that the reason that this happened had anything to do with race. But when you listen to what the witnesses who were there, who participated, and very importantly, the people who held them down, I believe it was a Black guy and I believe a Hispanic guy, they were not charged. Why were they not charged? They were not charged because they were not guilty of doing anything. And I think that the jury ultimately made the right decision. So I was honest about, and I say on my podcast, I was honest about the fact that I changed my position, and it was based on what came out of this court case.
Yeah, Penny had him in the chokehold, but others did also intervene to try to kind of hold him down as well. Got to leave it there. Guys, I really appreciate this. I enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Gene Valentino, Malik Abdul. Appreciate your insight. This was fun. Come on again.
Thanks
for
guys.
having me.
You got it. Thank you.
Throughout history, the spirit of patriotism has prevailed. The battles may have changed, but the values remain the same. Today, in 2024, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment where the call for unity, freedom, and a better future echoes louder than ever.
For more than 10 years, Patriot Mobile has been committed to supporting the values that make our nation great.
With affordable plans and reliable nationwide coverage, Patriot Mobile is not just a wireless service. It's a call to action for those who believe in the American dream. Because this year is not just any year, it's the most important year since our nation's founding. Choose a wireless carrier that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.